Hello, and welcome to a video about all of the candies that I have gotten from Five Below that are autumn or Halloween adjacent. So, I think... oh, where did it go? Okay, we're back in business. So, we're going to start off with this is just, I'm going to kind of be tasting them, but I've already tried them because I couldn't wait when I got them. I'm like too excited to try them. So I haven't done a video like this, so I'm a little bit like, I don't know what I'm doing, but we're just going to go through and I'm going to kind of describe what these different ones taste like. So we've got the Werther's Original Caramel Apple Soft Chews here, but I actually refrigerate these before I eat them because I figured out that they're like almost impossible to get out of the wrapper when they're just soft, like not put in the fridge. But look how nicely that came out just when it's been put in the fridge for a little while. It's like all caramel all the way through. There's no like filling or something, which, I mean, if you actually look at the picture on the container closely, unlike I did, you can see that that's what it looks like. But for some reason, I thought like, which I don't know why I thought this, I just kind of grabbed this quickly. I think I was like in the line when I grabbed this, so I didn't look too closely. But I'm like, oh, it probably will have like a filling or something, which it doesn't. It's just all the way through the caramel. Yeah, it does. It's soft. Just trying to talk while eating a caramel was like the worst idea ever. It does have that classic caramel apple taste. It says soft and creamy caramels with the taste of caramel dipped apples. I'm trying to come up with a way other than caramel apple to describe the taste. Like, it has that, it's a perfect mix of like the kind of tart, smooth apple flavor and the caramel. It's not overly like sweet, it's not overly tart, it's just like the perfect mix of the two. It has like a really smooth, coherent taste to it. So that was the Werther's Original Limited Edition Caramel Apple. Now, do I really want to, after I saw how well that caramel went, just first thing out of the gate, but I wanted to get that one done because I had it refrigerated, so I had to get it eaten before it thawed out. But I think the next thing that would make most sense to eat would be the other Werther's Original Caramel that I got. This is probably my favorite thing of all the things I've gotten. It is just so good. I love a really good maple flavored thing. And this is the Maple Cream Soft Caramels, which, as you can see, does have that filling in there. Now, one thing that's interesting about both this one, I just want to check here and make sure I'm not spreading misinformation. It's like, I think this is what I remember, but I just want to make sure. One thing about this, interesting about both of these, it seems like all the Werther's things are not like the hard candies, actually somehow have wheat in them. So if you're like strictly gluten-free, you're going to want to pay attention to what's on the boxes or the containers, because that's like oddly they have wheat in them. Says this one contains milk, soy, shea nut, wheat, and hazelnuts. May also contain almonds and other tree nuts. So, I mean, if you have an actual allergy, you're probably used to checking out what the allergy things on them. If you just have like a sensitivity issue like I do, you might not be quite as used to like checking every single thing that seems like it might not have wheat in it. So just be paying attention to the stuff, like, because that can be surprising when it's like, oh, a caramel thing actually has wheat in it. It has the little maple leaf on there. So fortunately for me, I won't have like some like major medical problem from eating something with wheat in it, but I definitely do have like, I'll get like stomach problems and stuff, so I definitely do avoid it. Just bite in, that is so good. Just bite in, and it's exactly what it says on the package. This is the most uninteresting video ever, I'm sorry. Yeah, it just has the caramel cream, you bite in, it has a little gush of the creamy caramel. And that kind of mixes in with the caramel as you chew it. You got this soft caramel chew. I'm trying to come up with like a way to describe the cream, because it's not frosting, but it's also, it's not pudding. Like, I don't know enough about like baking to have a good like way to describe what the cream in the middle is like. If you haven't had one of the Werther's original cream filled things before. It says soft and creamy caramel outside, delicious maple cream inside. So, I think I already said this, but this is my favorite thing that I've picked up, but since the wheat does give me some different issues, I probably won't be getting another one of these, so this was a really great treat to be able to have here. But if the wheat doesn't give you any problems, then maybe, and you love maple, maybe grab a bunch of these, because they're so good. They're the limited edition, they're just for autumn. I don't know why, again, I don't know enough about like making candy to know why a caramel would have wheat in it, so that was kind of interesting. I'm still trying to come up with some way to describe the cream on the inside. It's a nice, like, it's, I mean, it basically is like a just thicker, it's a kind of thick, but not too thick, creamy substance. that somehow sounded gross the way I described that. I wish I could come up with a way that's better to describe that. I don't know if I even have to try these, because I think we all know what these taste like. But I got the classic Brax, or Bratz, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, candy corn. Look at the little cat. I love a candy corn. I know this is a very polarizing candy. There's the classic little candy corn. I'm not exactly sure why it's super polarizing. I'm just a little surprised because it doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's mostly a sweet taste, which maybe that's why it's polarizing. Now, I guess maybe you could think it's sort of an odd texture. It was kind of a... Well, I'm like, do I come up with a way to describe what the texture is? I think most people know what it is, because I think most people have had it before. But I also got the Mellow Cream Pumpkins candy, which is candy corn adjacent. I think Mellow Cream is the best way to describe the texture. Kind of that, sort of marshmallowy, kind of whipped-like in a way, but it is a hard candy, like, as in hard as in solid. Just bite into it. It feels a little bit light and airy in a way, and it's mostly just sweet. So maybe it just, the texture and like it just being kind of sweet is why it's polarizing. I'm not exactly sure. I always loved these Mellow Cream Pumpkins, so I thought it was fun to see just a whole package of these. There's kind of, you wanted to see what the texture looked like if you have not had these before. And is it just me, or do the pumpkins taste a tiny bit different than the candy corn? Yeah, I like can't speak. The saliva's like, yeah, no, you're not speaking. Actually, I'm eating. You're not speaking right now. Like the pumpkins have a slightly deeper taste, I feel like, than the candy corn. The candy corn tastes a little bit like more of that light sweetness, and the pumpkins have a little bit deeper sweetness, almost like the kind of sweetness that a pumpkin pie has, just that kind of more deep set sweetness. So I think it's really good to like have one of the pumpkins and then like afterwards have like 2 of these, or like 2 or 3 of the regular candy corns, and it kind of, your mouth gets that full like circle of the different kinds of sweetness. Let's see, what should I have next? Maybe next we'll go with the Haribo Sour Bats. And then here are the different flavors. We have orange and blackcurrant, green apple and blackcurrant, and cherry and blackcurrant. So the orange is the orange, the green apple is the green, and the cherry is the red. And these are kind of interesting. This one got a tiny bit melted. I'm not sure this is the greatest one to show on camera. I want to try one of each and kind of describe them. But there it looks like one of the orange ones. So these are kind of interesting. I don't think I've had a fully all the way through gummy sour item before, where it's not that it has the sour, it's gummy, but it has this sort of like sugary-esque dusting of the little particles that are sour on the outside. It has like, as you saw, the orange is on the wings, and then the middle is the blackcurrant part. So you get hit with like the kind of tart orange, and then there's the all the way through the candy, the sourness, and then the blackcurrant middle has this really deep flavor. So the kind of light tart orange, and the deep currant mixed with the sour just all the way through the candy has a sensation that's almost a little bit like spicy in an odd way. Like kind of when you eat something spicy, it kind of, as your whole mouth is kind of like flared a bit. Like it almost kind of has a bit of that sensation to it. Okay, well that looks okay. I was standing outside for a little while in the heat, so when I got these, so they slightly melted. But I think this one looks pretty good to show. I'm like trying to get the very best looking ones to show. So here's the cherry. I think this one seems a little bit less like the somehow spicy sensation. I think the cherry might be my favorite. As you get the cherry and that the currant, which is like this deeper berry, which those two flavors go really nicely together. And there's something about a sour all the way through cherry. Like I described, the things I'm used to are where it's the gummy, but the sour is like kind of this thing you bite through on the outside, so as you're chewing through it, it gets less sour. But having just that spike of sour all the way through, I think somehow works a little bit nicer with the cherry, to me at least. It's a slight slightly less of like an assault on the senses. Just have like the blaring sour all the way through with the cherry for some reason. Trying to show off. It has like a bit of texture on the wings. There's the little sour bat. This is the green apple flavor. It's even got, I didn't notice before, but it's got like a little face. They're quite cute. Oh, I didn't turn my auxiliary light on, I just realized. Hopefully the light is good in this video. Like, was that an improvement? I think that might have been an improvement. Let's just show off this little guy again. I always love a green apple thing. That one's really nice. That one, I don't know if I like that or the cherry better. The tartness seems really natural with the green apple. I think even more so than the cherry. The green apple actually might be my favorite of those. So anyway, these were also a really good one. These may contain wheat, traces of milk. What were the candy corn? Just to give the allergy information on all of these. I'm not seeing a, like, may contain something or other on these. Alright, so maybe just the candy corn maybe just contains whatever it contains, but there's not a may also contain something else on there. It doesn't appear. And then another thing that was interesting were, I just realized all the things we have left are apple things. I didn't quite space these out great, so we'd have different flavors throughout it. But I love these peelers candies. The only ones that I've had are the lychee ones, which are just like the best thing ever. They really have this sensation of like eating an actual lychee candy, an actual lychee fruit, which I love lychee. But I saw these peelers caramel apple, and I love a caramel apple. I love caramel apples. So I saw this, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely trying out that. That looks super cool, although they are all of the peelers things are a bit pricey, so, but I did want to grab a bag. So the way that these work are, let's see if I can get it started here. You can actually unpeel it if you want. And you could eat them separately, although I'm going to eat it just the full thing. Now my hand's sticky. These have a very soft kind of taste to them. When you bite into the center part, it's this very like lush, very like soft. It's almost not even like a gummy thing. Like it's almost like I think it's a Japanese company. But you do get that like a Japanese jelly where it's just so soft and you just bite right into it. And then the outside's a little bit oh yeah, on the back it does say gummy. So I'm like, did they officially even say that they're gummy? The outside is a bit more like a gummy, but the whole thing is just very soft. It has like a soft flavor to it. It's not like an aggressive, soury apple type of taste. Just kind of sweet, just kind of like a soft, I don't want to say a hint of caramel apple because that sounds like it doesn't taste like anything, but it has like a soft, smooth, like a delicate kind of light type of flavor to it, like almost like it's like a jello or something that you're having, and it has like that kind of soft type of taste to it. Oddly, I don't mean this in like a it tastes bad type of way. This is going to sound like a really derogatory thing, but it almost has like, I don't know if it's the caramel or what, but it almost has like, I might have to have another one just to make sure I'm describing this right. Like the smell and the taste of it somehow almost has like a slight, like, if you're smelling a really nice smelling soap, that's like kind of one of those cheaper soaps. Like, I don't know like what an expensive soap really smells like, but like you get a really nice smelling soap, and that's like the gel soap from like Walmart or something, and it has that sort of smell to it that's like, oh, that smells really good, but it is in fact a soap. Somehow there's something to it that's like a really slight, like, as you're eating it, like, it's almost like you're, the sensation of like you're smelling something. Like, instead of it being a taste, it's like you're smelling like a soap or like a candle or something. Hopefully that didn't like turn you off from it thinking I'm saying it tastes like soap. It doesn't taste like you've just tasted soap, to be clear. It's like you're eating something that actually you're not eating something, you're smelling something, if that makes sense. Like, there's this added quality to it that, like, something like this, the sour bats that were the apple flavor, or like these caramel apple things, like, did not have. Like, where it fully tastes like you're just eating something. Like, somehow the Peeler's caramel apple has, like, a thing to it that's, like, almost like you're smelling something that's pleasant, but it's in your mouth. If that makes any sense. Like, there's something that's, maybe it's just that it's a less aggressive flavor. Like, it's a, oh, I could have just saved, like, a minute's worth of your ear's time by saying it has a fragrant flavor. That's what I mean. It tastes fragrant. That just came into my mind. I could describe it like that. I could have saved so much time by just saying that sooner. It tastes fragrant. That's what I mean. And then another item that we've got that it's apple. We have got these Sour Patch Kids Apple Harvest, which I really like, but for some reason kind of give me heartburn. I don't know why, so if you've had that issue with these, let me know if it's just me. But just letting you know in case, like, I don't know if that might be a thing someone else may have an issue with. I'm not sure why that's doing it for me, but nothing else really seems to. But anyway, we've got cranberry apple is the red, apple cider is like the yellow, and caramel apple is the green. And these are like the classic, where they have like the dust of the sourness on the outside. And it's a nice, like, really gummy, I'm showing the back. Does this have any, may contain something? I'm not seeing any, like, allergy information on these. I can't remember if I looked for allergy information on the peelers, but I don't see any on that either. Cranberry apple is nice. It's not, does it say it's supposed to be, oh yeah, it says sour than sweet up there. It's not, the cranberry apple isn't that sour. Maybe I'm just not clocking the sour because cranberry is usually sour. So it's mostly just kind of like a sweet kind of berry apple type of taste. It's kind of like if you've ever had, like, Martinelli's apple, like the stuff that looks like it's wine, but it's actually, like, apple juice mixed with something else. Like, the classic one is apple and grape. It kind of, the cranberry kind of tastes like that. I'm showing off that. That's not a very nice looking one. That one got a little squashed. That's for the big moment where I'm showing it off. Let's get a really good looking one there. Here is the green, the caramel apple. That one you do get a little punch of like the sour. Kind of like a punch of sour, and then a flood of this kind of caramel syrup taste. And you also get that slight appleness, but like the tart and the apple kind of go together. So you get like it's mostly like tart and caramel, or kind of like the taste you're getting, but overall it does taste like a caramel apple. That one's really good. It has a very like strong, like a caramel syrup that you would put on ice cream kind of taste to the caramel. Now let's try, I think, was it apple cider? Yeah, apple cider. It's the yellow one. I like the little guy on there doing the apple harvest. This one, definitely you get the tart. Yeah, it does kind of taste like apple cider. It's like that apple, but with that deeper kind of like apple preserves taste to it. Tastes like if you've ever had like apple jelly. Oh, which actually is perfect because these are gummies, so it really is kind of like an apple jelly candy. Very flavorful, much more flavorful than like an apple jelly. That one might actually be my favorite. That's really good. And then we have cowtails, which I've never had before, so that was interesting to try. Chewy, oh, and I ripped it right where the writing is, so let's try to decipher it here. Chewy caramel with a tart apple-flavored cream center. And on the back it says, peanut-free, made in USA since 1895. So, oh, it says, from the makers of caramel creams. So was that what they were doing in 1895, or were they actually making cowtails in 1895? I'm not sure exactly. These contain wheat, milk, and soy, which I did not notice that contained wheat when I was in the store. Again, I didn't think of, because I had never had these before. I didn't even think to check. Because I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be like caramel, so. But when I tried one of these for the first time, I'm like, well, that's interesting, because it almost has like kind of a texture taste to it that's like a pie. Like, it's almost like if it's caramel apple pie. It's like the texture on the outside. So that makes sense then that it has wheat in it. Because it does somehow have a, I'm like, this kind of is almost like a flour pie crust on the outside. Okay, why am I having a little issue unwrapping this specific one? I've never had an issue unwrapping any of the other ones. Of course, now on camera, it's like, yeah, I'm not coming out. It's like really just like, yeah, no, actually, I'm not coming out. Look at that. It's clinging on there for dear life. It does not want to be on camera. It's like, yeah, it's too early to be on camera. I'm not doing none of that. Alright, my hand. I need to wipe off my hand real quick. So it's usually more round-like. This specific one was just not wanting to come out. But it's the red on the inside. It's like you're biting through this thing that is almost like a paste of a pie crust. Like, I don't think I've ever tasted pie crust that was not cooked, but I imagine perhaps it's a bit like this. Like a much sweeter, nicer version is what this would be. But like, there's somehow a bit of a sensation of like biting into like a bit of like pie crust like, but it's caramel and a bit apple flavored. And then the inside, you get hit with this almost, and it might be the tart that's giving this illusion. I think it probably is. This illusion of almost slightly powdery, like cream, that is this like gush of sour apple. And it's like, I mean, as you saw, it was a, oh, it doesn't have a picture of what it looks like on the inside on the package, but as you saw, it is red on the inside, and it does taste like a red apple, like a tart red apple, which is interesting because all the other things we saw, and all the other caramel apple things I've had are like that green apple taste. So this was interesting to have the red apple, because that really is more like what I'm used to with a sour, or not sour apple, a caramel apple. I am more used to having the red apple. I don't think I've ever actually had a green apple that was covered in caramel. So these are really good. I really enjoyed these. I think these and the might be alongside the Werther's maple cream caramels is my favorite of the things. I really like all of them. So that's just like my favorite of my favorites of the, at least of the new things that I've tried. That texture is just so unique, how it's almost a bit like eating a baked good in a way. I'm like, am I supposed to... This wasn't a ranking video. I don't even know what I would rank them as. I think, though, my favorite thing would probably be the maple caramels. There's something about them that is just so good. And then... maybe one of these caramel apple, either the caramel apple caramels or the cartails? Yes, it's the trunk of a car. That's what these are. Either the cowtails or the caramel apple caramels is second. I don't even know where I would put in the different candy corn options, because these are just such a classic. It's like, you don't really have a craving for like, I have a craving for something like some sweet candy. It could be anything. Oh, maybe a candy corn. Like, when you have a craving for candy corn, it's like its own thing, kind of. Like, you have a craving for candy corn specifically. So, I don't know, like, when I think about, like, ranking candies, it's kind of like, what would I grab for if there were all these things lined up? But, like, I don't think I would usually be like, oh, that's, like, candy corn is one of those options. Like, it would be like, either it's the mood for candy corn or it's not, kind of thing. So I don't know where that would go on the list. It's kind of its own thing. And I don't know exactly of like the remaining 3 items where I would list these. Again, they are like quite different. I think my next favorite might actually be the Sour Patch Kids apples. I just wish they didn't give me heartburn for some reason. And then I'm not sure about these, because like the different flavors of the gummies were all so different from each other. And then like this was a very uniquely its own thing type of thing. So I don't know about these. If they're just going to grab one, it again would kind of have to be a what am I in the mood for, because they are very different. Like, these are so, like, potently, like, aggressively sour. It's like, you would have to be in the mood for something that aggressively sour. Whereas this is, like, much more, like, non-offensively, powerfully something, but, like, the fragrant type of taste. Maybe it's just an acquired taste, but, like, that, again, that's kind of something you have to be in the mood for, something that gives that off. So, anyway, there was everything. But I do just have to show this little guy. Isn't this adorable? This is a little thing from Hallmark last Halloween they had. I think this year they have, like, a pumpkin and a spider that are like this. I just randomly found this in, like, a Kohl's or something. Isn't this adorable? Can wave. And then he has a little, which I might have to put him on a flat surface to show, but he has a little thing on the back here that if you pull, then he'll like vibrate across a flat surface. So anyway, I just had to show this because it's so adorable and I've never shown it before. Well, Hallmark guy. Even though it's not actually a candy, but it's a candy corn. So, you know, it fits in. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And found this interesting or helpful in some way. And yeah, I've never done one of these before, so let me know what you thought, if you found this interesting. And anyway, head to Five Below, I guess, if you want to try any of those. And until next time, stay spooky. Goodbye.